Kunja Bihari Jara Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Shri Radhe. Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja. Prabhupada 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrakacharya Ashtodarshata Vai Charanaravindam A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, text 14, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So before I proceed, I would like to welcome everyone for today's class, those who are physically here and those who are online as well. I don't know if they are, but I think so. I would like to welcome, and I would request to please bless me and pray for me that whatever I speak which is beneficial for all of our growth for spiritual life and being in Krishna consciousness, and which is something wrong, I would request to please forgive me. So we will read the shlok now. Na kartutvam na karmani lokasya shrujati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Na kartutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Na kartutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. You would like to recite, Prabhu? Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Mataji. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma phala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Meaning, na, never. Kartatam, proprietorship. Na, nor. Karmani, activities. Lokasya, of the people. Srajati creates. Prabhu, the master of the city of the body. Na, nor. Karma phala, with the results of activities. Samyogam, connection. Svabhavaha, the modes of material nature. Tu, but. Pravartate, act. Translation: the embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The living entity, as will be explained in the 7th chapter, is one of the energies or natures of the Supreme Lord, but is distinct from matter, which is another nature called inferior of the Lord. Somehow, the superior nature, the living entity, has been in contact with material nature since time immemorial. The temporary body or material dwelling place which he obtains is the cause of varieties of activities and their resultant actions. Living in such a conditional atmosphere, one suffers the results of the activities of the body by identifying himself in ignorance with the body. It is ignorance acquired from time immemorial that is the cause of bodily suffering and distress. As soon as the living entity becomes aloof from the activities of the body, he becomes free from the reactions as well. As long as he is in the city of body, he appears to be the master of it. But actually, he is neither its proprietor nor controller of its actions and reactions. He is simply in the midst of the material ocean, struggling for existence. The waves of the ocean are tossing him, and he has no control over them. His best solution is to get out of the water by transcendental Krishna consciousness. That alone will save him from all turmoil. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखं श। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, I'll just read the translation once again. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So, here we if we try to find the essence, in the purport also it is said that if we try to find who is actually the doer of whatever we do, who is actually the doer, so the soul is not doer because it is just observing. Like if we see a chariot, so the soul is sitting as a king in the chariot, and then it is driven by the senses and with the guidance of intelligence. So it is soul who is not actually the doer, but is, as mentioned over here, that because of the time immemorial, it is acquired by somebody, and due to which it gets affected. But soul is not the actual doer. And then further it is mentioned that nor the body is also not the proprietor and nor the controller of the action. Also we see. So then, how does this body actually works? So we see it comes with the modes of three material nature, three modes of this material nature: sattva gun, raja gun, and tamagun. So we all perform actions in these three modes of material nature, but it is indirectly it is Prakriti who is actually doing. It's forcing us to act. So here. Wherein the Prakriti is also is also a Shakti or a power of the Lord, as mentioned over here, which is another nature called as inferior of the Lord. So Krishna being sitting in our body, in our heart, and especially as a super soul, he, in spite sitting in our heart, he doesn't interfere in our actions. So that is why we got this free will. But as we being in this three modes of material nature, we think that I am doing everything. That is because of the illusion caused by the false ego, that I am the doer, I am the controller, because the soul starts identifying itself with the body. And then it feels, okay, I am the one who is acting, or I am the one who has control over the results. Wherein if we give a deep insight towards this, we find that almost everything is out of our control. Sometimes we have some plans, like maybe we sleep early today thinking I'll get up early morning for Mangal Aarti, and unfortunately we wake up for chanting at 5:30. So we miss Mangal Aarti. So we have many plans in life, but not necessary that, and even if we act on those plans, not necessary we will get the result what we expect. So we might have experienced this in our schooling life. We might have put lot of hard work to study, to get good marks, but in spite putting all the efforts, we don't get the marks which we wanted. But sometimes we see at our friends who are the backbenchers, who don't study at all, but they somehow get good marks, and they with flying colors, and we are like, oh, he didn't do any hard work, but still he got. So where is this? Why is this happening? Or who is actually the doer then? And as mentioned here, I'm neither the proprietor, I'm nor the controller as well. So then who is actually it is? Then it is said, it's actually the karmas, which we have all carrying on our shoulders. And with our karmas, we get this results. So, but then Krishna also says that I'm the one who doesn't interfere as well, but he gives us the free will. And then there is a word destiny which we hear. So how does this destiny work actually? So we have a free will of doing a choice, either to go for lecture or to chant, or we have choices to make. That is our free will. And then while doing whatever choice we make, while following that choice, whatever happens, that comes with the destiny. For an example, if I decide, okay, now I want to go out of the temple. So while going, if there is door that I need to open, so that is my destiny. I was supposed to face that door. Or if there is some speed breaker while driving, so that was a hurdle in my, the choice I had made. So the hurdles which come in our life, or the actions which happen, or we say, or we hear, this was meant to happen, So that is actually the destiny. But then if we see on the other side, means not the other side, but the same side of the coin, I would say, wherein Draupadi, she had lot of hopes from her husbands that she would be saved, but no one could actually help her. And Krishna was there right at the door, you know. And then when Krishna was asked, why didn't you come earlier? Why did you wait for so long that she, raises her hands and then says, Govinda, and then you come. Why did you wait for so long? Then Krishna says that I intervene when only the devotee approaches to me. So it's upon us that we surrender ourselves willingly, and then Krishna intervenes our life, or he does the interference. So this we can see now how we can actually implement this. We will just try to connect this with Sri Ramanavami, which is approaching. So we'll see with Ramayana, the characters of all the Ramayana, how they actually give us this message of all these four things, that the soul is not doer, that is, I am not the doer, and the whatever I am acting, it's only due to the modes of material nature. And Krishna, being the super soul, he does permits us the free will, but he doesn't interfere. And this we'll see how we can connect it with Ramayana now. So Lord Ram, when we can just imagine this situation, maybe tomorrow, I'm supposed to become a prime minister of a country. At 7 o'clock, I'm supposed to take an oath that I'll be prime minister. And I have won the elections with so much of efforts. And suddenly at 7 o'clock, the country says, oh, we don't need this prime minister. We don't need this prime minister. We need someone else. Such a disaster it would be, for us. Because we have prepared so much. I am prepared so much that, yes, I'll be enjoying this post and position. Or, I'll be the controller now of this whole country. And so much is done. Similarly, in Ayodhya, everyone was so happy that Sri Lord Rama would be king of Ayodhya and he will be ruling us and will be under his shelter. They were so happy. All the, like yesterday, Narahari Mataji, I'm just continuing what she, where she concluded yesterday. So all the preparations were done. At 7 o'clock, the Muhurta was decided that Lord Rama would be coronated. But at 4 o'clock, Kaikai comes and says, no, you had given me 2 boons and out of them is Lord Shri Ram should go to forest. So 2 opposite situations, One situation is, I'll be king. And now the second situation coming in life is, I have to go in a forest like a poor wanderer, where I go, I don't know in life. So 2 opposite situations coming at a single point, it's such a disturbing thing for all of us if we look. And when we expect something positive and suddenly something negative happens and we are crashed completely. But here Sri Ram accepted it very calmly. He never reacted, he never responded. And we, if we keep ourselves in their shoes, if we keep our feet in their shoes, we understand how difficult this is. Can we really digest it? Or is it so easy to digest from yes to no or from no to yes? Because we see in day-to-day life, for an example, a relationship between a boy and a girl, if that doesn't go through, then out of them, one gets completely distressed. We see in COVID, today the person was there with me. Tomorrow I'm planning to celebrate a birthday with him. And on the day of his birthday, he's died as well. So 2 opposite situations, but we just can't digest it and we completely get distressed. But here, Sri Ram was so calm. Why? Because he had this in mind that I want to follow the dharma. And what was that dharma? That following his father's order. So when we act or while doing certain thing, if we keep our dharma in place, like if we know why am I doing this exactly, then doing how becomes very easy. So here Ram was very calm, he accepted it. Yeah, it is my duty, to obey my father. And then without saying anything to Kaikai, wherein Lord Ram can do anything. Sitting in her heart, also he can just turn her remembrance also. He could do anything. He could ask for a war, he could have fight, he could have done some resentment, he could have done everything, whatever he wills. But here he is trying to show that, if we follow dharma and if we are surrendered to dharma, then we can accept this um, setbacks, we can accept this and we can digest without getting frustrated and without going into false ego that, now, like Ram would have also got this false ego. Okay, I'll go now, 14 years. After I come back, I'll look at you, Kaikai, So he would have also got this revenge, because of false ego. But he never had this. When he came, neither after enjoying, after killing Ravana, he was not too happy as well. He was like, okay, it's okay. And then he came and so this, I would say this is one of the aspect which tells us that Lord Rama acted in the world, but he was never of the world. So he was detached. So what exactly detachment means is, detachment doesn't mean that I don't own anything, but it means that nothing should own me. So for an example, I own this laptop. So now this laptop, once I don't have this laptop, I shouldn't cry, oh, I miss my laptop. So this is in short owning me. I am not owning it. So detachment also means that, doesn't mean that we don't own anything. Being in Grihastha life, we will like to have this, some house, some car, some gadget, something. But then, if according to our karma, if it goes off, we shouldn't also lament. So that is what also in Bhagavad Gita comes. Na harshati, na shoka kankshati. So a person should be neutral, he should be detached. He should not over enjoy, once we get something, and he shouldn't go in distress if we lose something. So this Rama, here Lord Rama is giving us this wonderful insight, I would say. And then if we see the other character of Sri Lakshman, wherein he was very angry when he heard, hey, my brother has been asked to go to forest, who was supposed to take oath of being a king. I will take, revenge with Kaikai. And he was ready to fight. He was ready to punish her. He was so angry. But then Ram very calmly told him, see, this is dharma, which is more greater than my personal pain, So I shouldn't give priority to my personal pain. I should follow the order of my father. So this spiritual aspect made Lakshman cool down. Okay, he was like, okay, Ram is telling, which is something very much higher than my anger or what I wish or what I expect. So it happens most of the time that we expect something to work according to us, but it never happens, and then we get angry, we get frustrated, But when we have this aspect, okay, ultimately Krishna is the doer. If he wants, I'll serve. If he doesn't want, I won't be able to serve. So if we have this aspect, then we would be, so it is said that even righteous anger must be guided by a spiritual wisdom. So having anger is not completely wrong, but if it is guided with a spiritual wisdom, we would be able to guide it or direct it in a right approach, I would say. And then we see at the when Bharat Maharaj, when Dashrath Maharaj left this body because he was too shocked and he was half conscious, he was half unconscious. So when Lord Rama went to forest, he was not able to digest this because he couldn't imagine himself being detached or being away or the separation from Lord Sri Ram. And when he leaves the body, then it is Bharat Maharaj who actually goes to forest with whole army, all the villagers, and everyone goes to forest to request Sri Ram that please come back. Now we are shelterless because even Dashrath Maharaj is no more. And then Bharat Maharaj goes to Lord Sri Ram and says, please come back. We need you, because otherwise, without you, we won't be able to do anything because we have no shelter. But then there is a wonderful bhajan. I will just go to the explanation of it, wherein Ram himself says that a person a person is only a slave of his destiny, and nobody is to be given a fault over here. And then he says that the two logs of wood in the sea, with the wave of the water, they come together, but with the same wave of water which is going inside of the sea, these two logs of wood are gone apart, within a second. And they go in such a way apart that they never come together. So Bharat Maharaj was being explained by Lord Sri Ram that, my destiny says I should be in the forest, so I am in the forest. And your destiny says that you should be the king. So our paths are different as the path of those two logs in the ocean, So now I go to forest, you go to back to Ayodhya, and follow the instructions. And then, sorry. And then this whole bhajan gives actually the insights of how Lord Sri Ram was detached, and it made Bharat Maharaj to go back and rule Ayodhya. But while going, then he said, okay, if you don't want to come, it's fine, but at least give your sandals, the chappals which you are wearing, the padukas, so that I can carry them on my head and I can keep them on the Vyasasana of a king, and I will always follow in your shelter, in your footsteps. And then Bharat Maharaj takes those padukas on his head, and they all go back to Ayodhya. And then Bharat Maharaj again, he keeps those paduka on the Vyasasana. He keeps Krishna always on the top, Lord Sri Ram on the top. And then he follows whatever Sri Ram wished. However, Sri Ram would like to rule the kingdom. In that same manner, Bharat Maharaj tried to follow the footsteps. So if we also keep Krishna always on the, if we take shelter of Krishna, always keep Krishna in the center, then we would be able to follow the footsteps given by Srila Prabhupada to us. And then if we follow the footsteps, we are definitely going to reach the destination. And then if we see the character of Hanuman, who was, an ideal karma yogi, we can say, who did, he went across the oceans, he burnt the Lanka, he found Sita Maharani, and then he also brought the mountain, So we can see he was a karma yogi, full action, completely in action, always serving. But then he had zero ego, he had no ego that I am serving. So we can see when Sri Ram and the other monkeys, when Hanumanji came back, the monkeys were glorifying, Hanuman, our leader, did this great job of finding Sita Maharani. But then at that time, Sri Hanuman says that, no, I didn't do it with my strength. It's all because of Lord Sri Ram. So here he is following the aspect of Dasa Dasanudas, being servant of the God, always Sri Ram. And if we also have this in our mind that, okay, whatever we are doing, it's all because of Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga, then we won't be affected by this false ego of that I am a controller and I am a proprietor. We won't have this false ego. And then if we see another character of Vibhishan, he chose dharma over loyalty because he was the younger brother of Ravana, and he should have actually supported his brother, whatever he does. But then Vibhishan was the one who was telling, to Ravana, hey, don't do this. You are inviting your death. Why you want to do this foolishness? Give back Sita. Don't do all this. But then Ravana was full of ego. No, I am the king. I can fight with anyone. Though he had boons from Brahmaji. So he was in full of ego, the false ego, but at the other end, Vibhishan, he had the knowledge of dharma. So he gave up. Okay, Ravana, you fight. I don't care. I'm going to Lord Sri Ram. He is following the dharma. He is Maryada Purushottam. I am not going to stay with adharma. Though you are my brother, I won't support you. And he goes back. Even if he goes back, the monkeys and the other end, they start, being suspicious about him. Why has he come? Has he come to take our, the plans, how we are going to attack Ravana? They start blaming and they start being very suspicious on Vibhishan. But Lord Sri Ram said, no, he hugs him. He very sweetly explains, no, this person knows the dharma and he has come to us so that I am going to give shelter to him. So Lord Sri Ram says here that even if one takes the name of Ram, Jai Sri Ram, still I give a shelter to that person. No matter he is in another opposition to me, he is in adharma, and then he comes back to me, it's fine. I will never kick him, I will always accept him. Only once, even if he takes my name, I'm ready to give him the shelter. And then Lord Sri Ram explains to these monkeys that no, he has come to me, he has taken my shelter, and I'll be giving him the shelter, he'll be with us. And then they go ahead. So even if we take shelter of the holy name and shelter of the instructions of our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, the Vaishnavas, we would be definitely we'll get closer to Lord Krishna. And and sometimes we see that we know that something is right, but we still can't do it. So that is a courage to choose dharma is what costs everything. We know that I want to get up, I want to do this, I need to do my sadhana like this, I want to do this. But due to these three modes of material nature, we get so illusioned that we don't get the courage to do it. So that was with Ravana. He knew that whatever he is doing is wrong because he had learnt all the Vedas. He was very powerful. He had learnt Vedas, but he was illusioned by pride. And that's why he kidnapped Sita thinking that I am the enjoyer. I will win over Ram. I am the ruler of everything. He wanted to take the place of Indra, He is like, I'll kill all the demigods also. I'll be the controller. So he was illusioned by pride, and that's why wherein he was advised by Mandodari and Vibhishan that don't do this. Why you want to do? But still, he was so illusioned. Same like Duryodhan. When the war happens, and then Duryodhan says, hey Krishna, you are sitting in my heart. Why didn't you give me knowledge? Why did you make this happen? Then Krishna says, yeah, I'm sitting in your heart, but I wanted you to fight because you didn't take my surrenderance. You didn't wanted me to interview. Then why will I give you the knowledge not to fight? Though I'm sitting in your heart, So having that surrenderance and not being pride, being in false ego, being proud of something, will actually keep us away from getting sheltered to Krishna. And if we are not attached to Krishna, then we are definitely attached to Maya, or other things. So it is very important that we keep being surrendered to Krishna and always being thoughtful of our dharma and being sure that, I am controlled by destiny. I'm not the controller, but yes, at the same time, if I surrender to Krishna, he's the one who can intervene and sell my life. And then the last character, if we see, and then Ravana's message is that he was deep rooted, that I am a doer, which connects to our today's shlok, that it says that we are just enacted by the modes of material nature and we are nor the doer and nor the controller. So here Ravana was the one who was thinking, I am a doer. He was enrooted very much, believing in himself. And then the last was Kumbhakarna. He was the one who slept for 6 months, got up once, one day and again used to sleep. So we can see from Kumbhakarna, he was actually praying to Lord Brahmaji that I want uh, I want Indra Prashna, he was saying this word, wherein it means that I want the stage of Indra. But by mistake, the speech, when we speak, the speech is controlled by Saraswati. So instead of saying Indra Prastha, he said that word, what was that word? I just forgot that word. Wherein he, by mistake, the slip of tongue, he said that I want to become a sleepy man. Instead of saying I want to become I want to sit at the place of Indra. The slip of tongue, the Saraswati twisted his tongue. And then Brahmaji said, okay, you sleep. So that's why he sleeps for 6 months, get up for 1 day. And then he also woke up when Ravana said, hey, you are my brother, you need to fight with me against Rama. And then due to law, he also was very knowledgeable. And he woke up and he said, this war is wrong, whatever we are doing. He also said the same thing, send back Sita. You are doing it wrong. But then he was also attached to his brother. He was like, okay, I know he is doing wrong, but let me support him because he is my brother. So this shows that wise people also fall when the emotions overrule. So the knowledge must be paired with detachment, I feel, and also with the courage. So if we have the knowledge, then we should have the courage, and there should be detachment. If we have this detachment, then it would be very difficult, because if we compare, for an example, again Vibhishan, he had everything, he chose dharma, he had the courage to break this attachment towards his brother, and he takes surrender of Krishna's will. And then Ravana, he was completely rooted, thinking I am a doer. And then Kumbhakarna, he had wisdom, he had all the knowledge, but then he was attached to Ravana, his brother, knowing the truth, but I would say he lacked to follow that courage. So if we try to meditate on this, we can try to think, like, where am I falling? For what am I following? Am I following footsteps of Lord Sri Ram, being detached and following dharma? Or am I into Hanumanji, who is always in devotional service and is being very humble? Or am I in place of Lakshmana, who is passionate, but under the control and the guidance of dharma and the Lord Sri Ram? And then Vibhishan is the one who courageously surrendered, and took the right shelter. So we can ask ourselves, like, where am I holding pride or no? And then where can I surrender more to Krishna here in my life? Because when we hold things, they somehow turn to be worst. Like, for an example, there is a game of tug of war, So there is a rope, there are two parties. They try to fight. And then one party pulls on their side, another party pulls on their side. But after a fight of very long fight, they seem that, their hands are having blood because of pulling the rope again and again. So at times, it is okay to let the other person win, and I'll be keeping my health safe, and next time I'll prepare more nicely, So sometimes we have our opinions, we have our decisions, but there is also the same person having same decision or opinion, not the same, I mean with the same level of decision or opinion. So instead of fighting that mine is right or yours is right, giving up that, okay, it's fine, you go with your decision, we go with your decision. Just for the higher purpose, we giving up that our opinion is not wrong. So we should understand what is the higher purpose of I doing certain thing. So I doing this is good or bad also, or I should do what I believe, or I should follow what he is saying, also depends on what is the higher cause of it. So like when Yudhishthir Maharaj, he never spoke lies, He was, um, he never spoke lie. But then Krishna said, you just have to say Ashwasthama Hato. And then Ashwasthama was an elephant as well. But what Kauravas thought? That, oh, Ashwasthama has died, But that was the false information given by Yudhishthir Maharaj. And that's why as soon as Yudhishthir Maharaj says Ashwasthama Hato, the one leg of Rath goes down, because he was the truth, always the truth, following the four pillars of Dharma. And that time he broke that one by saying this, wherein it was not false. But at certain point it was false also. But again, at the higher cause, what was the higher cause? That, killing Kauravas at the end. So when we have this, I would say, when two things collide, we need to decide what is the higher cause for this. And then maybe it can help us to live the life, truthful, to live the life of detachment. So we won't be attached to our opinions, we won't be attached to our thoughts, we won't be attached to our needs, and it would always be, and if we are surrendered, it will be always with whatever Krishna wants to do, I will do. If he sitting in my heart, if he gives me right intelligence, I will do that. So it's like, it's for an example, CEO of my company, he just desires, but that I want this work to be automated. Or for an example, ChatGPT. You just tell the ChatGPT, give me this. It is the people behind who has given all the knowledge base to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is answering you. Similarly, but we are not forcing ChatGPT to give us what exactly we want. So similarly here, Krishna is there, he is giving us free will, and he is not forcing us. For an example, we put the GPS on Google Map and we drive. But if we take some wrong turn, it never forces us, hey, go here only. No. It says, okay, you want to go left? Okay, you go. I'll recalculate it. I'll reanalyze where you want to go. I'll give you the new route. And it thinks, okay, let me think how can I bring him back, So same is Krishna. Krishna says, you want to go? Go. You want to enjoy? Enjoy. But he makes sure that how will you come back to him. So there is one very live, this is actually the truth, the fact, pastime, I'll share and I'll stop. So there was one devotee of USA. He was flying from USA to London, I believe. And then there was one Mataji and her daughter who were also flying from USA to London. Now, but they were supposed to get down somewhere else in some layover, I believe. And the journey was not too long. So they had a festival, that Mataji and her daughter, and they left the program for the airport. And they were lot of in rush. So they couldn't take prasadam. So then the devotee said, you attend the program, but you have not taken prasadam. You have small kid, daughter, and you will be hungry for so long. Why don't you take prasadam and all? Then she was like, no, I'm lot of rush. I need to go. We have flight. But then devotees, what they do is, they pack the prasadam for us, for them, like for us, many times devotees do. They give us sandesh, they give us something, even if we are going in the morning. So for them, the devotees pack the prasadam for the Mataji and the daughter. They take this prasadam and they rush towards the plane, and when they enter the flight, so this devotee from USA, he was just sitting, thinking of something. He was very frustrated in life, not sure what he wants to do in life. And then this Mataji unfortunately gets the seat besides him. And her daughter gets the seat in the other row. Now they settle down, and then the daughter starts crying, now I want to eat, I'm very hungry. Then they take the prasadam down from that cupboard above in the flight. And then now this Mataji requested this Prabhu, can you please shift in that row so that my daughter can sit here and we together can eat? We are very hungry. He says, no, I want to sit on my place. I won't give you my place. Then he was very rude. And then Mataji was like, what happened to him? I was just requesting, why is he so rude? Then she says, okay, it's fine. So she does 2 parts of prasadam, but it was too much of prasadam for both of them. Then that daughter says, why don't you ask that person sitting besides you, if he wants to have that prasadam? Also, he might be hungry, that is why he is so angry, If we are hungry at times, we become angry, I'm so hungry. So then that Mataji asks that person, do you want to have prasadam? He said, no, I don't want this. And she was like, why is he so rude? And she says, no, this is something good. He says, I told you I don't want. Why are you forcing me to eat this? And he starts screaming. And everyone is looking at this, this Mataji and a girl. What's happening? And they are so embarrassed. And they are like, okay, what wrong we do? They had tears in eyes. And then, things move on. They both eat the prasadam. Little prasadam still remains in the bag. Now, this person, after some time, they say, okay, sorry, we forced you to eat. Then he was somehow little cool after some time. And then he said, when you entered this flight, I knew that you will come here, sit beside me, and because that was the only seat left, and you will come and you will force me to eat something. And she was like, why is he saying this? And then he says, I knew all this, and when they come, they both say Hare Krishna to each other because they were sitting in different seats. So he said, I also know that you will be saying Hare Krishna to each other. And she's like, you know everything, then why were you so rude? You were shouting at us wherein we were giving the prasadam. He said, you know what? I was actually a pujari in temple for 10 years. But there was one desire of mine which Krishna didn't fulfill. So I have kept away this Krishna consciousness. And since 10 years, I'm trying to forget this Krishna. But this Krishna is coming to me in some or the other way, in form of devotees like you who bring prasadam. Or I see some people coming to me distributing Bhagavad-gītā. Somehow or the other, I sit in the airport, I see there is Bhagavad-gītā. I see on the television there is something about Krishna. I'm trying to forget him so much, but I'm not able to forget him. And then he starts crying. And then, ultimately, he says, okay, but anyways, can you give me the prasadam which is left? Because I am very hungry. And then he says that, Krishna is my real well-wisher. See, I have not eaten for last 1 day because I fought with my wife and I have no money. I am hungry. And see, this prasadam has come to me. And Krishna is taking care of me. And he finally accepts that prasadam and he eats it. So this pastime shows us that, no matter what, how we tried, to say, Krishna, okay, Krishna, leave me. You are not fulfilling my desires as I want. Or you are not giving me what I want. I want to go away from you. But Krishna or Lord Sri Ram still won't, kick us away. At Srila Prabhupada also, when he arrived at USA, he had nothing. And then when this Indian family kicked Srila Prabhupada at midnight, out of house, that time Srila Prabhupada also said, Nachao, nachao, Prabhu, nachao, nachao. As you feel Krishna, you make me dance. I am a puppet in your hands. So if we have this surrenderance and at least once, even if, like Sri Ram says, even if once we take his name, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, he is ready to give us the shelter. And once we take the shelter, and even if we say, okay, now I don't want to be in your shelter, still they won't leave us. He will always protect us, and he will always, like that GPS map, he will always recalculate, okay, how to bring this fool back to me again. And he will always take care of us. So in short, yes, we are not the doers. And we are only acting because of three modes of material nature. We are neither the proprietors nor the controllers. It's the karma and the destiny which is actually giving us what we don't want. Like everyone prays to Krishna, I want happiness, I want happiness. But without asking, everyone gets at right time, at right place, gets the sorrow or unhappiness without asking. We never ask Krishna, give me unhappiness, but we still get it. So I believe if we don't ask for sorrow, still we receive. Then even if we don't ask for happiness, Krishna will give us, and our destiny will give us whatever we deserve. And if we surrender to Krishna, then yes, definitely whatever is supposed to go from, if the hand is supposed to get cut, it will go on fingers, and we would be able to be in the shelter of Krishna. So I will stop over here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Ramanavami Mahamahotsav ki. Any comments or any feedbacks, please let me know. Oh, yeah. So, okay. Hare Krishna.